Hello and welcome to this new tutorial. Today, we're going to explore some code that creates a marquee. It's text scrolling effect on the web. This effect is perfect for displaying messages dynamically and attractively. We will learn to implement it step by step, from the HTML to the CSS, explaining each part of the code. Let's start with the HTML structure. We start by declaring a div with the container class. This will help us to center the content of our page. Now we declare a div with the marquee class. This is the section where our scrolling text will be displayed. We create two unordered lists. The first displays the text we want to scroll, and the second duplicates the text to create a continuous effect. Now, let's take a look at the CSS that brings our marquee to life. We use root to define some variables that will help us manage spacing, background color, and text size more easily and consistently. Gap defines the space between elements. bgdark sets the background color to dark. Text size defines the size of the text that is adjusted according to the screen size. Animation duration defines the duration of the scroll animation. We use a universal selector to remove default margins and paddings and to ensure the box model is consistent across all elements. We set the dark background and center the content with a grid layout, ensuring it occupies the full height of the window. We will use overflow in hidden and hide everything that goes out of the limits of the screen. This helps to avoid unwanted scroll bars. We will also set a standard font that adapts to each operating system, providing a clean and consistent look. The container class sets a width of 100% and adds padding. The relative position allows child elements to be positioned in relation to this container. The marquee class creates a visual container for a scrolling effect of text or elements. Position relative configures the container so that we can position elements inside it. Overflow hidden keeps visible only the part inside the container, hiding the content that moves outside its limits. User select done nay prevents the user from selecting the text, perfect for animated effects of moving text. Display flex and gap arrange the elements in a row with space between them, which helps to create a clean and adjustable layout. Transform rotate for deg, tilt the container slightly, adding a dynamic touch to the scroll. Mask image a linear gradient makes the left and right ends of the container gradually fade in and out. This gives a smooth in and out effect as elements move in and out of the container. We set that the lists have no list style and behave as a flexible container. Flex shrink 0 prevents the list from shrinking. Justify content space around distributes the space around the elements. The text class creates a text style with a color and scale effect. Font size var text size and font weight 700. Set the font size and make it thicker for emphasis. Background linear gradient applies a diagonal gradient 135 degrees that mixes gray and white tones. Background clip text and color transparent displays the gradient as a text color instead of a background. Transition transform 0.3 Cs adds a smooth animation when transitioning from one state to another. A text hover guide transform scale 1.05 filter brightness 1.2 for when the mouse is hovered over, the text grows a little and brightens, creating a highlight and depth effect. This style makes the text stand out visually and responds elegantly to the hover. The keyframe scroll animation creates a continuous scrolling effect in which elements move from side to side. Keyframe scroll defines an animation called scroll that will control the movement of the elements on the horizontal axis. To transform translatex, calc have -100% minus var gap. This is the final stage of the animation. It moves the element to the left using translatex until it has completely exited the container. 100% shifts the element completely out of view on the left side. Var gap adds an extra space that is defined in a CSS variable. This ensures that there is space between the elements when they reappear from the other side. Media prefers reduced motion reduce. This block detects if the user has activated the preference to reduce motion on their device, useful to avoid motion sickness or discomfort. A marquee all eye animation plays state at paused. Through if this preference is enabled, the scrolling animation is paused, ensuring a more comfortable experience for these users. Media max with 760 px. This block applies specific styles for screens of 768 pixels or less at typically mobile devices. Root e gap trem changes the value of gap to trem on small screens, adjusting the spacing between elements for a more compact and comfortable display on mobile devices. Together, these styles improve the accessibility and adaptability of the layout for different users and devices. Now as a last step, let's add the animation to the marquee. So let's go to the marquee all class, add the animation property with the value of scroll var, animation duration, linear infinite. This line creates a continuous and smooth scroll, perfect for a marquee type effect that keeps moving without stopping. And there you have it, a stylized and accessible marquee effect that you can implement in your web projects. This code is not only visually appealing but also adaptable to different screen sizes and accessibility considerations. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more web development content. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.